Hi there. My name is Amanda Poole-Walsh, and I'm the founder of Astrology Hub.
And I'm astrologer Stormie Grace.
And we are here together for your weekly forecast for the week beginning on September 9th. Stormie, tell us about the week. What is the theme? What should we really be paying attention to?
Well, this is such an interesting week because it's a full moon week, which essentially means it's time for us to end something or make some adjustments. There's culmination in the air. But this particular week and this particular full moon is loaded with the energy of reality checks. So we're going to clean up what we need to so we can move forward. And in doing that, though, there's all these little back doors that give us access to this personal power. So I think that this week, our theme is actually evolution, moving from what was to what is, no matter how hard it feels to access that power.
Last week we talked about the theme and we talked about what's real, what's real. And I've been walking with that all week. And it's really interesting to see the times where the answer to that question is a little bit confusing. And yet just asking the question allows for what is real to show itself. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. I think many of us have been experiencing that. And Saturn doesn't really get too far away from being on top of our nodes, which put this little bit of emotional tension in there, as well as this spiritual, intuitive energy that's coming. So it's kind of hard to pick out what's what. But then, like you said, you start walking a little bit and the information shows up. And I think that's the way.
All right. So the theme for the week is evolution, moving from what was to what is. Let's dive into the details of our day-by-day forecast.
Awesome. So starting off on Monday, September 9th, we've got the moon here in Aquarius, which is such a wonderful social energy, social topics. I mean, it's very much so an energy of like your future is on your mind. Maybe you're ready to think about starting something new here. Or I love this energy because it's very, I can do it. You know what I mean? And then it also meets up with the energy of Mars being in a trine to Saturn and Mercury trining Pluto as well. So this gives us the vibe on this day, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're working on, no matter who you're around, you're going to find the most efficient way to get things done. And you're going to have a follow through energy that is going to produce some long lasting success. And within that, you get the support of people in positions of authority to kind of help you. So whether that be a psychologist, a lawyer, an astrologer, a boss, you've got some support today to get some things done. So it's a really lovely way to start the week.
Nice. And I've been finding that in my life, how comforting it is to have those people in your life that you can count on for really sound and solid guidance. And so it sounds like those people will be revealing themselves even more in the beginning of the week, yeah?
I absolutely believe so. And I would really suggest that everybody kind of take note who is on your support team to get you to your future, because this is a week of spiritual reality checks. You are going to have to talk to somebody this week and say, all right, here's the situation, because you need clear eyes on it so that you can make peace. And we start to see that on Tuesday when the sun, which is your vitality, it's your life energy and vitality, opposes Neptune. Now, this is our first indicator this week. We need someone outside of us to take a look at us, because this energy can bring this deception of self. There's doubt in this. We're supposed to be handling these situations. We're feeling our future right here at our fingertips, yet we've lost some confidence in handling situations, right? It's like our vitality just can't quite translate. And what that could be, especially with Neptune retrograde here, is that something, which can be an idea, maybe an old belief, or someone from your past is holding you back, keeping you from moving forward. Now, while that is a challenging energy, it is a wonderful creative energy to see where you can creatively find middle ground in a situation that you might be dealing with. And that you can best kind of see what's off, what's going on Wednesday. Just Wednesday, take a water break, take the day off, meet with your astrologer, your psychologist, and whatever, so you can talk through what's happening here, because you're being held in this place because something is looking to transition out so that you can evolve forward.
Stormie, I love this. So you're talking about our inner confidence potentially being shaken. I remember a time shortly after I had moved from New York City to Hawaii, and I had moved to Hawaii with this idea that I would create some sort of online business. I didn't know what it would be about. I didn't really know how to do that, but I had this, vague vision. And I remember taking steps towards it and feeling like no matter what I did, it wasn't working. It wasn't reaching people. It wasn't producing anything, and I remember having this feeling of like, God, was my vision actually off? Like, can I even trust my vision anymore? Can I even trust my intuition that led me to make such a big life move and change everything? Can I even trust? And I think that's the hardest thing, is when we start to question ourselves and our own ability to navigate our lives. It's like, oh my God, now I really feel like I have no compass. But I remember at that time, realigning my intention. Instead of feeling like I knew exactly how it would look, that it would be this certain online TV show that would serve these certain people, and we would talk about these certain things. I had this idea of what it would be, and that had evolved. Instead, it was like, you know what? There's this level of surrender that I'm just going to surrender to the divine will. I'm going to surrender to the highest good. Whatever I need to be doing that's highest and best for everybody, like that's what I'm going to set my sights on. And that really, I find, when we're in these moments of like shaken confidence, that a lot of times it's that what we thought was going to happen isn't happening. And so that makes us feel unconfident about whatever the situation is. But instead, surrendering, like we don't know. We actually don't know all the time. So maybe there's something better. Maybe there's something totally different that we just didn't realize there was a potential for. And so I just want to offer that, because I think that can be helpful in times where we're feeling like things aren't happening the way we thought they should.
Absolutely. And I think, when I listen to you talk about that and I think about these energies, I just hear the word humility, right? Because it's like I have to, in these times when that level of self-doubt or something feels like something from my past is just holding me, I have to offer myself in humility to see the self-deception, to see what the block is, the belief or the action that's keeping me from my very best. And when I can do that and kind of step back and offer myself in humility, it changes my interactions, it changes my thinking, it changes my relationships. And then I'm able to kind of take that more confident step forward, which is exactly what happens on Thursday. Remember, you're having a water break and thinking about your whole life on Wednesday. But on Thursday, Mars and Jupiter come into a square. Now, I love squares because, yes, they create tension and it's hard and we're uncomfortable, but a square is stimulating us into action. It's like, hey, I need you to actually take an action here so that we can move forward. And when Mars and Jupiter square, this is courageous. This is the kind of energy where you're like, I'm going to move something forward. I'm going to start something new, or I just have the courage to take on whatever's been holding me back. Now, I will tell you, with this energy, it is best, whatever you have been being shown that you are going to take some action towards, create a strategy, have a plan, because if not, what happens is we've had this self-doubt day. So the day after self-doubt day, we review. And then the day after that, we're like, I'm taking on the world and it's too big or too extra. You know what I mean? It's like the confidence is too much. So just make sure you have a plan or a strategy how you're going to get into this so that you're not overdoing things.
Very good to keep in mind. I remember last week you said something about taking on too much one of the days and, being overconfident. And I had your voice in my head as I was going out throughout the day. I was like, and it actually was my daughter's birthday. So sometimes when there's birthdays or parties, it's like, well, then we could do this, and then I'll get this, and then I'll make this. And then all of a sudden I'm totally overwhelmed and I've committed to way too much. So on that day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep it simple. I had your little voice in my head. I'm not going to take on too much. And it ended up being enjoyable for everybody. So that was very, very wise and sound guidance that you gave us that day.
Yeah, it's so crazy. We just, our hearts get so full. When we get these bursts of courage, it's like, do it all. And I had this client I was working with, and her experience was that she owed money. She just had a ton of debt and she was trying to move a project forward, but she kept feeling like she couldn't because of this debt. And we talked about it, and she called and she said, you know what, I am just going to take out a loan and pay this in lump sum. And I was like, hold on. Let's maybe. And so we stopped. We created a new plan and a strategy around what she actually makes at this time and the smaller payments that she could do over time. And yes, it was going to take a lot longer, but in the end, she had comfort, right? But she was ready. she was ready. She was on her way to the loan place. I was like,
whoa, thank God she talked to you. But that just brings up those impulses, those feelings of tension, like, okay, I gotta fix this. I gotta do something about this. And there's that like impulse to fix it in that moment. But what you're talking about is so much more Saturnian, because looking and going, yes, you've identified the problem. Great. You've identified the problem. And the solution is not going to be the quick fix thing that makes you feel good temporarily, because temporarily you feel good, but long term, you're creating a whole world of hurt for yourself. So I love that example. It's a great example, Stormie.
So as we get ready to move towards our weekend, the 13th and the 14th, just depending on where you live, we will be having this full moon in Pisces. It's conjunct its ruling energy, Neptune, who is also retrograde. It's opposite Mars in a T-square. I mean, this is a busy full moon, my friends. But keep in mind that the full moon is always asking us to end something, acknowledge something, or make an adjustment. And this is a challenging moon, I believe, because it demands forgiveness and transition from us without sacrificing ourselves. So during this moon, we've also got this Mars-Neptune opposition, right? So information is spiritually coming to you and you're not sure what to do with it, but you're feeling like, I need to make some moves with this, but what? And then this Mars-Neptune opposition, you're feeling a little bit obstinate about taking the actions you need to take. You're like, yeah, no, I don't owe them an apology. Yeah, but they fill in the blank, right? So in that, Jupiter's presence shows up to help you remember that all will be well if you stay open-minded and you approach your situation in a much more open-minded way. And the idea here is leaning into this moon sextile Pluto energy that creates your evolution from this. This is your back door to your inner power. It's like you can almost see your blind spots. You see how they're holding you down, holding you back, and you're willing to get to the root of things. Now, we've also got a trine from the sun to Pluto, and this is powerful because, again, it shows you where your ideas or your beliefs are literally suffocating you. And instead, you turn them into some constructive nourishment for yourself. Plus, Mercury and Venus are in Libra, so you're highly diplomatic. There's some balance here. Your head and your heart are on the same page. But the fact is that this full moon is going to show you what needs to transition out. And you're going to have to take the action to let it go, regardless of how you feel about it.
Wow, powerful. And it reminds me of the time when I'm going to get a little intimate here, but going through my divorce, and there was, infidelity and things involved. And I had a lot of forgiveness to do. And I remember coming to a point where it was like, hanging on to this is only hurting me. It's aging me. It's creating toxicity. It's making me, not as good of a mother as I could be. All these things that I want to be, I can't be because I'm holding on to the grudge. So someone gave me this amazing advice in terms of forgiveness, to wish for the other person everything that I wish for myself. So wish for that person. This is a huge leap, right? You're like angry and upset and all this stuff, but this is like major forgiveness, where I'm not only forgiving, but I'm actually wishing them happiness, success, love, all prosperity, all the things that I would want for myself. I'm wishing this person. So I started to do that. And at first it was hard, and I would grit my teeth and do it through my teeth, whenever I would think of it. But I think that the major time of me doing this practice was like 7 days. It was really 7 days. And in the very, very beginning, it was very hard. And as I continued, it got easier and easier. I was feeling lighter and lighter. I got to the point where if I passed a place where I knew the person would be, I could imagine that I had these wings that were like going over the person, and like goodness was like raining down on them, like light was raining down on them. And this all happened within like 7 days of really committing to this practice of forgiveness. And the amount of evolution that occurred from that experience of going really deep to find that forgiveness. Now, I was ready though. Like, I wouldn't recommend going to forgiveness when you're just not there. I don't think you can force it. But I was definitely in a place where I was like, I was fed up with the way I was feeling. I was tired of holding the grudge. I wanted to access that level of forgiveness. So I just offer you that, because if you can find that mantra of like, okay, I wish for this person the same success, happiness, love that I wish for myself, it's really potent, really potent.
It is. It's an absolute thing to just embrace evolution, because the very first thing that we do is we offer ourselves in humility to our divine destiny. We say, I actually believe today, someplace, even if it's a mustard seed of belief, that I don't have to stay where I've been. It is okay for me to go forward. And it is also okay, by lending forgiveness, for me to be one of the humans on this planet. I don't have to be the best. I don't have to be the worst. I can just embrace my evolution and my imperfections, forgive other people theirs, and it allows me to join them instead of being against them. It is the most freeing space I think we get to. And we're in some of this right now. I mean, really, there's a big question that comes to us just the next day, which asks us to look at our part in every situation in our lives, because what's happening for each of us, we play a part in. It's just seeing what's my part, and you got to have another person to help you see it, because we don't see it, right? Self-deception is real. So on Sunday, we've got the moon. So this is so entirely beautiful, because the moon is our inner security and the place where we really lock up a lot of little secrets in there, right? And it squares Saturn. So again, we are uncomfortable, but we are stimulated into action. So with this energy, anything unhealthy that this full moon may have presented to you, anything that is not valid for your world anymore, it may be ready to end at this time. But this energy, before you are ready to let it go, just like you were talking about, Amanda, this energy has the tendency to see us blaming other people before we really take personal responsibility for our own actions. You know, it has you, well, if they would have, oh, well, I didn't ask for that. Oh, there is whatever it is, the blame game is on. So this kind of thought process that starts to come as the day wears on is, okay, maybe this was my part and maybe I could have handled that better or different. And I also think that this, as we end the week, is that energy that says, no, I need to go ahead and see the part that I play in this, because I need to heal. I need to have freedom. And this allows you that movement this day to take a deep breath and get ready to walk forward.
You know, what you're bringing up there, Stormie, is going to ensure that people are using the energy for evolution. Like if you're looking at the situation that comes up and you're saying, what was my role? What could I have done different? What could I have done better? You're basically guaranteed, even if you have to learn that lesson again, you're going to learn it from a different place than the first time you experienced it. So you are going to be going through that spiral of evolution. So, and this always reminds me of how truly benevolent the universe is. It's benevolent, and it's not happening to hurt us. It's not that we're uncomfortable just to be uncomfortable. We're uncomfortable to create that tension. We get to that place and we start asking those questions that enable us to grow and enable us to evolve. So this week is pretty dynamic in that way, yeah?
I think this week is absolutely powerful in that week, because in the end, I don't care what your spiritual practice is. I think what we find out that the only way to evolution is to stop pointing those fingers outward and to get inward, but to do them in a way that is not demeaning and is not self-sacrificing. It is simply about, what role am I playing in my world? Because I can't change anybody else. I can't change their world, but I can navigate the little bubble of Stormie, and I surround myself with people, places, and things that can support me doing that. You know, my best friends on this planet do not co-sign my BS, right? Even when I come to them with something that is absolutely my fault, or something that I don't know if it's my fault, they walk with me in compassion, but they don't let me off the hook, because they want my freedom as much as I do.
Wow. Just exactly what you just said should be a meme on Instagram. Jamie, make that one a meme. That's so good. All right, Stormie. So if we were to sum up the energy for this week, first of all, you chose the theme of evolution, which, as you all have heard, has woven throughout the entire week. And it's kind of like this continuation of what's real, from last week. Like, what is real? What am I seeing that's real? What is not real? The second thing is that we may have some situations where our inner confidence is shaken. And one of the keys for this, working with this energy, is surrendering in humility. Just surrender the ideas of and belief systems and indignance or righteousness or whatever you're hanging on to, and let that go in humility. This is then followed by a period of potential overconfidence. So make sure that you, check yourself on that. The third thing is that this is a full moon in Pisces week, a very busy full moon. As Stormie has said, full moons are all about ending something, acknowledging something, or adjusting something. And this one has a big, heavy theme on forgiveness and transition, and also remembering that all will be well. Stay open-minded, evolve through it. You have an opportunity to see some blind spots that may have not been available to you before. I'd say when those come up, thank them. Like, God, thank you for letting me see that blind spot, because I was walking around with those blinders on. That's, not cool. So thanks for letting me see that. And then I had to choose 4.
Okay.
It's a really busy week. But the 4th one is at the end of the week, we have this opportunity to really check in on our responsibility. What role did we play in whatever happened? And how can we use the energy to just keep getting better and be compassionate with ourselves? But like you said, Stormie, don't let yourself off the hook either.
Yeah, don't do it.
Love this. Love this. Thank you so much, Stormie. And to all of you out there who are interested in we talked about getting those kinds of advisors, those people that guide us in our life. And I told a story about my online business sort of adventure early on. If any of you out there are interested in creating an online business and you're looking for that really solid mentor guide, I cannot recommend enough you joining this week a masterclass that is being put on by my online business mentor muse, Amy Porterfield. She is an incredible resource. Astrology Hub would not be what it is today without her guidance. I feel like she's one of my best kept secrets, and it's so exciting to be able to share her with you. She's going to fast track you. If this is what you're interested in, if you'd love to get your message out online, if you'd love to, maybe even supplement some of your one-on-one business with being able to teach many at the same time, the internet is this incredible tool for that. And Amy Porterfield is the best of the best at teaching you how to do that. How to build your audience, how to create an online course or an online offering, an online workshop, whatever it is that you have your vision on. She is an incredible muse, an incredible guide. I cannot recommend her enough. You can go to astrologyhub.com/masterclass. I wanted to give you an easy URL to remember. So it's astrologyhub.com/masterclass. She's offering these free workshops this week. It is the opening to what she has, her online training, which is called Digital Course Academy. You'll get to learn about that. If you want to go in and jump in 2 feet in, I cannot highly recommend Digital Course Academy enough. It's amazing. So check it out, astrologyhub.com/masterclass. And coming up next, we are going to have our Q&A segment with one of our Inner Circle audience members. So please stay tuned, and you'll get to hear Stormie giving some real-time guidance based on one of our members' charts. So that is going to be happening next. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are so excited to be here with you for our brand new Q&A segment. This is our 2nd week of doing it. We have Tess Hollopeter with us. Tess, thank you for being a brave soul and being one of the first to be a part of this new segment. We're so happy to have you here.
Yes, thank you so much, Amanda. I'm so happy to be here.
All right. Okay, so Tess, what is the burning question that you are holding in your heart that you would love to get some feedback on?
Yes, it's very burning. I'm so excited to ask it. It's very relevant to my life right now and kind of my goals in the upcoming year. But my question is related to career and work. I'm a career accountant, an oil and gas accountant, and I've known in my heart for a really long time. I think basically whenever I declared accounting as my major in college, that it was not for me. But I've had a lot of fun with it and met great people and have really enjoyed my time there. But I just think that there's a calling on my heart to either, do something different with accounting or do not-for-profit, but really kind of switch gears and do something that's more aligned with what really brings me joy and bringing joy to other people too. So career direction in synopsis, and the push to either go back to school or, just find another job. But I'm considering law school or helping. I'm really interested in women and children. So being maybe a divorce lawyer or really just helping people. I think that I'm big, on personal relationships, and just that's my favorite part of my job is getting to talk to people and just that aspect. So.
Not your typical accountant. The typical accountant is not my favorite part of my job is talking to people.
Yeah, basically the not working part. That's my favorite part.
Right, exactly.
So yes, I've been told by so many people, and it's so funny whenever you have the push from a lot of other people coming into your life where they see it and you can't even really see it yourself. And I've had, my family, mentors, even people at work, even like the CFO. We had like a meeting a couple weeks ago and was like, we were totally transparent with each other. And he told me that he like sees me going other places and sees me, I don't know, doing something that's more aligned with me. And like, I have a job here as long as I want to. And he says that I'm at least doing decent work to keep it, but really it's encouraging me to like follow my dreams. And I'm just really like thankful and blessed, like, have that support, because most people can't be honest with their employer whenever they are feeling it. But he actually like recognized it before I can even verbalize it, and just says like, we kind of see like, we don't want you to be miserable at your desk, or, whenever your eyes just glaze over when you're looking at a computer screen all day. So I'm really thankful to have support on that front. I just have to make the decision for myself and really commit to making that leap and leaving something that, it's my degree, job, it's the only experience I know, but I know that I like have something different in my future.
Okay, so it's clear that a change needs to be made. The question is which direction to go. So Stormie, what are you seeing?
Absolutely. So congrats on being ready to do a career change, because it really is not something that you just can wake up and step into. You typically can't do that. So the energies do have to get in place and get into alignment. So down the road for you, just looking at your career aspects and looking at a couple of the aspect configurations that you've got going on as well, you've got a grand square working in your chart in water, which gives me this kind of indicator for you that it's got to be high level networking. You've got to have high level connection with other people or resources that you are a part of connecting other interests to. So one of the things that I can see you doing, and this is going to be several years down the road as far as the full culmination of it, is I'm not sure exactly how this looks, but potentially being some kind of advocate, potentially even a legal advocate. And it looks like it's cases that have to do with drama and trauma, whether this be domestic violence or beginning even this year, something you could take action on, or working with organizations such as TESSA, if you have that, or any of the places that do domestic violence help. Anything like that. But down the road, what it does look like is you are some kind of legal advocate or teacher about these resources. You've got a mystic rectangle that's running through your chart as well. And a mystic rectangle is just like, hey girl, please use me, right? Like it is literally waiting for you to just go ahead and step into that energy. And as soon as you activate it, it's like all of these things go really fast and get into alignment. So this year, if you can, even before you throw up your papers and leave your job, if you can align yourself with some strong volunteer opportunities that have to do with connecting people to resources, you already begin to put these pieces in place. Now, I do see here too, if you are willing to get on the volunteer bus this year, there seems to be an opportunity for someone to pay for you to go get education, or someone to give you the opportunity to get the education training or whatever it is that you need. And the other thing that I keep in mind as I'm looking at this, I laugh that people have told you to go be an attorney or a lawyer, because with this sun in Leo, yes, right? Like you're like, well, I'm here to make life happen for people, but what you will run into, and you too are coming into a Saturn return after not too long. And so what you're going to come into, I think more than one time in this work over the next couple years, are these things that are going to make you feel defeated, right? You're out here, you're ready to do this, you feel called to do this, but you feel defeated. So keep in mind that all you're doing is gathering the experience and exposing yourself to the people you need to be networking with so that they can walk you to this next training point for yourself. And in that Saturn return, you as well, we had it so funny. We had Francesca just before, and you guys are similar timing, but I don't think that you go, oh my gosh, I've landed with your career until you're about 32 years old. I think you find that sweet spot. Right? And you're like, but I'm 25 today. I just had a birthday. That's forever. At 32, I'll be a raisin. What should I do with myself? You have so much ability to go get your networking on and get back into this training between those times and be happy, be fulfilled, and to get to see your own power in this. I think that's really important for you because you're not ready to just jump to law school. No matter how much you think you are, your chart is like, no. Let's ease in there, right? Let's get some people. And then we'll go, right?
Yeah.
So as far as the career change, you've got some availability to just even start with a baby step of some volunteer work or some different connection now. And then that will lead you towards this. But certainly the work does look like it's drama or trauma, right? It is. And you're bringing your course is to help with some level of healing.
Yes, 100%. And I literally don't know why I'm feeling like I feel so many emotions, but just what you were saying was so spot on. And I mean, really like the drama and trauma, like I would love that. I don't know why I'm choking up, but I just think like, I've experienced like lots of different traumas in my life. I mean, in different capacities, and like each one, I have never like looked at it as like something like I want to hide or share. I feel like it's just like inability to relate to other people and like share in like our experiences and like relate to other people on a human level. And I love what you said about using that trauma, using that drama to like help someone and stuff. And exactly what you said about being a lawyer. My mom is like the one who like had that epiphany this year, and she's like, my mom did, one of my bosses did, and it's just been coming back up. But it's like a lot of time commitment, a lot of money and all that. But I feel in my heart to be like a divorce lawyer. And like, once I like make enough money, do it for free and help every woman get every cent of child support, get every cent of everything, and be there for them. And like, get the best situation for the kids, like kids and women. Like that's just my heart and stuff.
What I love about this is that you already know, I wish you all could see her face how she lights up when she talks about working with women and children and being an advocate for them. And so that's the message here, you guys. So many times astrology is there to just confirm what we know. It gives us that confidence to be like, okay, you know what? This is going to be a hard path in front of me. It is going to take some time. I'm not going to hit my stride until I'm 32. I'm going to have temporary defeats along the way. But you know what? I can see the end game. Like I can see the vision, and I can also feel it in my body, and it's confirmed in my astrology chart. So it's just like all these things coming together to give you the confidence you need to go and do it. And I love what Stormie said, how reassuring to even think about that there might be someone out there that can help pay for your school. And so, yes, it's expensive, and yes, it's going to take some time, but there's this quote, God, I'm not going to do it right. But anyways, the point of the quote is, it doesn't matter how long it takes to do something. Like, time is going to pass anyways. May as well let the time pass doing something that's going in the direction you want to go. And I think the divorce piece, when it comes to drama and trauma, it might be that you help to create situations where there doesn't have to be trauma, where there does not have to be drama. You could actually help to calm and be that like soothing, peaceful balm in people's lives and hold a vision for, look, you're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. And this doesn't have to be traumatic for everybody involved. Like, I got you. Let's do this. So I could really see you doing that. That's so cool.
It's going to work well that way. And I think before you get to be the calm in the storm, it's going to be really important for you in your profession to have some portion of it be very crisis oriented and changing, right? Like, you need the crisis to stay involved in what you're doing. And the crisis is also really significant for your own personal evolution. So even after you kind of bring the temperature down, keep in mind that's something you can kind of tap into, is go, wait a minute, this is a crisis situation for you. You're like running over there too anyways, because you're like, ooh, hey, right? So that's going to be important. You're not going to be able to do the nice divorce where everybody's like, no, you can have all the things. You're like, whatever. Go to the nice lawyers.
I love that. And that's something I think about all the time. It's like, what is my impact? And I don't know if you guys feel at the end of the day, sometimes you're like, what did I accomplish today? Or like, who did I help? And then sometimes at the end of, even if I worked 10 or 12 hours, I'm like, well, I sat at a screen, I looked at numbers, like I did this, like, yeah, I ensured the reliability of financial statements for investors, but it's like, well, like I didn't really help anyone who really needed help, or like, I guess I didn't see it, directly. So I love that what you said, like, it's going to be intense, and that's exactly what I want. I want to feel, like you said, utilized and, have this purpose and stuff. And I do feel, strongly. I think we attach a lot of, how we value ourselves to our work. And I definitely feel, I want to have something that I love and, feel value, and that I'm giving back equally or more value, to other people and stuff.
That's where astrology is brilliant, because sometimes it's not that the job that you're doing isn't a phenomenal job. It's that it's not what you're built to be doing. because there is a Virgo midheaven out there who is like, I hope she quits her job today so I can have it, right? Like they are so excited. They're like, please leave your job, Tess. I would love that, right? That's where astrology is so brilliant and so useful because it can show us our natural default settings. I'm not attached to crisis book. I'm like, oh, there's drama. I should go the other way. You are the person who's going to run into the fire and help to put it out. So we're all built for what we're built for.
Definitely. I think it's like a strong sense of I dislike injustice. Like I was always a person like in high school, like it was never, I wanted to be friends with everyone to begin with, but like if I saw anyone getting picked on, it's like, no, that's just not right. Like no one deserves that. And I really just like everyone to be treated equally and fairly. And I think that's how it relates back to women. I want women to be treated just as equally as men, which we're getting there, but there's still always like so much work that we can do. And I'm thankful to be, born in the time that, I am because we have the most opportunity, but I also I know we still have a lot of room to grow in women in business and guys, so.
Well, I feel very happy that you are in this world, Tess, and that we get to know you and that our paths have crossed and that you're a part of our inner circle and that you're brave enough to be here today and to ask your question. And it was your birthday yesterday. So happy birthday. Happy solar return.
Thank you, Amanda. And thank you for all your help on this journey and all that I've learned in IC and just kind of what you said a second ago about, it really is a roadmap. I don't know if it was you or Donna that said that, but that has just stuck with me. And it's like, it's a roadmap right there. You can use it, and then I remember she said, like, we always have free will, right? It's just there. We have to make our own decisions. It's not definite or absolute, but just to be there and like to utilize it. So I hope to utilize it and finally pull up my post out of the sand and be able to move forward.
Hey, you know what, Tess? You are utilizing it. You already are. You don't have to hope. You're doing it. So just stay the course, girl. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you, Stormie. Thank you.
All right, Tess, thank you. And thanks everybody for tuning in today, for being a part of our community, for tuning into the Astrology Hub podcast. We are so grateful you're here. And thank you, as always, for making astrology a part of your life. We'll catch you on the next episode. Would it be helpful to be alerted via Facebook Messenger when a new podcast episode goes live? If so, go to astrologyhub.com/alerts and sign up for Facebook notifications, and we'll make sure you don't miss a beat. That's astrologyhub.com/alerts.
Hi, this is Chris Kaplan, the producer of the Astrology Hub podcast. This episode is over, but check the show notes for links to products and services you've heard about during this episode. And if you enjoyed our show, please subscribe and rate using the subscribe button wherever you listen to your podcasts.